verbs that mean to be, okay? We have the verb ser, that means to be, and we have the verb estar, that means to be, okay? If you guys see up here, I have this little poster with Snoopy. One of them, it says, Estoy cansado, soy un perro. And that's basically a reminder to tell you which verb that you would use, which one is the appropriate one to use, depending on the sentence. So, if I write all the subject pronouns, yo, tú, I'm just going to conjugate this, él, ella, usted, nosotros, vosotros, ellos, ellas, ustedes. Do you guys remember your subject pronouns and what they mean? Who's yo?
You.
I. So basically, look at these like this. First, second, third person, singular, okay? Then, first, second, third, plural, okay? There's our little line. So, all of these are basically the plural of each of these in order, okay? So when we conjugate this, you know, when you conjugate, it's basically like you're taking the to off, and then you're changing the form of that verb. Ser, meaning to be. Do we say I be in English?
No.
I mean, some people may.
I do.
Right. Is that correct?
No.
No. What would we say?
What
I
am.
am. Okay. So yo soy means I am. The to form of ser is eres, meaning what? You are. Very good. El. Who's el? Anybody recall what el means? He and she. Now, this was you, but that's informal, and then this is formal. Okay? So, él, ella, usted, es. Then we had nosotros somos. Vosotros. Wait, who's nosotros? I forgot to ask. It's plural of I. So-and-so and I. We don't start a sentence with us. What do we start it with? We. Okay? Think about it like that when we talk about subject pronouns. How would I start a sentence? I don't start it with us. I'll start it with we. Okay? Now, the plural of you, if I say you and you, in the South, what do we say? Y'all. So that's equivalent of y'all, is vosotros. Sois. And then ellos and ellas, who's that? It's the plural of he or she. So if I have he and he and he and he, that's a whole bunch of he's. What do we call them? They, which is ellos. So then the, you're going to have to move so she can get by you because I can't have my. So then that means they are, son. And if ustedes is you, formal, that's you are, okay? Whereas we have estar, I'll just go ahead and do estar, the conjugation of it under the same subject. Estoy, estás, está, estamos, estáis, and están, okay? Now, both of them mean to be. The verb ser is the one that we call, we've got a permanent to be and a temporary to be. Ser is the one that's permanent, okay? That's why up here, you see that Snoopy said, soy un perro. That's permanent. He's a dog. Is that ever going to change? No. If I said, soy baja, I'm short, and I'm 41. Is that ever going to change? No. I'm just going to be short, okay? So, for things that are more permanent, then we use the verb ser, okay? You look at your subject of each sentence. Whatever the subject is, you identify your subject. If it's, most of the time if it's singular, you're going to see the yo explicitly written. You will see to explicitly written, okay? Where it could get confusing is it'll have a name. Instead of saying el, it may say Paco blank inteligente. Paco is intelligent. You would have to know what is the pronoun that I could use to replace Paco's name. In this case, it's one person we're talking about, so it's él. So you would look, what is the él form of ser? It's es. So when you guys do that section that has the sentences, look at your subject. Oftentimes, the subject is going to be before the blank, okay? If it said, David y yo. Who is David y yo? How would we translate that?
David and I.
David and I. What is another way to say that in English instead of saying David and I?
Me and David.
No, one word to replace David and I.
We.
We. Thinking about subjects, okay? How would you start a sentence? David and I. We. That's nosotros. So when you see a compound subject, so-and-so's name, y yo, that's going to be nosotros. It may say so-and-so y tú, where it could be vosotros. But vosotros is only used in a couple of different places, mainly Spain, Argentina, a few other places. Most often we'll see the ustedes form being used to mean you plural, okay? So just wanted to go over the verb ser. You read the sentences, look at what the subject is in each sentence, and you identify that subject. Depending on what it is, can that subject be replaced with one of these subject pronouns? If it can, if it's not explicitly written as one of these, then it can be replaced with one of these pronouns, and that's the form of ser that you put in the blank, okay?